Well, today, Democratic Senator Ruben Gallego will be making an appearance at the Iowa State Fair for what could be his first step toward a presidential campaign. At least that's what a lot of people are asking.
Yeah, so this morning, 12 News journalist and Sunday Square Off moderator Brahm Resnik joining us live from Des Moines this morning. Brahm, it just seems a little funny. I think we lose how important this state fair actually is, because we're talking about a state fair and we're talking about a presidential race. It's funny how they go together in Iowa.
In Iowa, the state fair and presidential politics have gone together for years. This is a traditional stop for politicians running for president or who want to run for president. You have a crowd of 90 to 100,000 people. You're reaching a lot of folks. You can rub shoulders with them, act like an ordinary guy, even though you're a politician. Maybe flip some pork chops. It's a great setting to just be an average guy in a state whose caucuses might cast the first kind of test of a candidate's strength. Barack Obama won Iowa in 2008. That helped propel him to the presidential nomination on the Democratic side. Ruben Gallego perhaps hoping to capture some of that. It is 2.5 years until the Iowa caucuses, so this is way out. Ruben Gallego, I want to make clear, has not said he's running for president. He says when 2028 comes around, he'll begin to think about it. Although, you know what? You're here at the Iowa State Fair in the summer. You're talking to Iowa Democrats around the state. You're going to New Hampshire, which holds the first primary of the presidential season. You've already been to Pennsylvania, a swing state, to talk to voters there. So he may not have said he's running, but boy, he sure is acting like it. And we do expect him here this morning to do all kinds of things presidential candidates usually do at the Iowa State Fair.
Interesting is that while he may not have confirmed any of this, right, the speculation, he has to understand that that's what people are thinking, because this is the normal route in past campaigns that we've seen. So I'm curious, if he's there today, you said he's expected to rub shoulders, you know, with kind of the everyday American, then what is he expected to talk to them about?
Well, the other day he wrote an op-ed piece for the Des Moines Register, which is the state's largest newspaper, largest website. It's a real political force in the state, and he says he wants to tell Iowans, I'm fighting for you. I'm fighting for you because your Republican senators, your Republican members of Congress won't fight for you on issues like protecting Medicaid, issues like protecting SNAP benefits, the kinds of things we hear in Arizona, but he wants to fight for them too, even though he's an Arizona senator. So that's the pledge he's making. You could see the beginnings, the outlines of a presidential messaging campaign. And don't forget, you know, 2028 is going to be wide open on the Democratic side. There is no favorite right now for the presidential nomination. People are actually showing up in Iowa right now, Democrats and also some Republicans. They're getting ready for 2028 because, again, the field is wide open. Ruben Gallego trying to establish a national profile. This could help him do that.
Okay, you know Senator Ruben Gallego very well. He has been on Sunday Square Off, your show, many times. What do you think? Do you think that this is a real possibility going into the next presidential election? And if so, what else does he need to do to get ready for that, to gear up for that?
Well, I can say with some confidence, it's not like he decided a month ago, hey, let's go to the Iowa State Fair. He's been building a national profile since taking office in the Senate just 8 months ago, doing the kinds of things you do to build a national profile in anticipation that maybe you will run for president someday. Now, will he or won't he? Who knows? The field's going to be huge. Anybody can run at that point. But this is certainly laying the groundwork for what might be a presidential run.
You know, I'm curious. We talked about this is a very important place for people who do want to run for president, where they're going to stop, right? And so we mentioned California Governor Gavin Newsom and also Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker. Do they have any plans to be there as well? I mean, what's the feeling amongst the Democrats right now? Because like you said, it's wide open.
Ruben Gallego is the only Democratic candidate period who is showing up at the Iowa State Fair this year. Again, it is early, 2.5 years out. You might expect more to show up next year and certainly the year after that. This year, it is still very quiet here. So Ruben Gallego kind of has has the place to himself as much as he can, to do as much as he wants.
Right.
Remember, though, he's pretty much an unknown. Senator Ruben Gallego doesn't really mean much in the state of Iowa.
Okay, another question here, because last presidential election around, there was talks that possibly Senator Mark Kelly could be a VP candidate for Kamala Harris. Do you think that he might go for a presidential run? I mean, we're talking a lot about Ruben Gallego. What about Mark Kelly?
That is a very, very interesting question. Yes, Mark Kelly was on the short list to be Kamala Harris's vice president, or vice presidential running mate, I should say, in 2024. Didn't make it. But Mark Kelly certainly has presidential aspirations. He's been mentioned among Democrats who might run for president. So it is possible you could see Ruben Gallego, Democrat Ruben Gallego, and Democrat Mark Kelly on a collision course. Their presidential ambitions might collide with each other. Interestingly, a few weeks ago, I asked Mark Kelly, after we learned that Ruben Gallego was going to Iowa, I asked Mark Kelly what he thought about that. And Mark Kelly's answer was, Ruben has been a great ally in the U.S. Senate.
Oh.
Kind of a non-answer.
Right. And
very much a non-answer.
Very interesting, because you would think, like you mentioned just earlier, Senator Gallego, right, relatively unknown. Sure, we know him here in Arizona from all of his time, but Senator Kelly seems to have more of kind of the national recognition. At least a few more people know him. And to see them on this course, like you said, would be very interesting.
Imagine president and vice president ticket with two Arizona senators. Could you imagine, Brahm?
Well, okay, so Brahm,
I'm not sure I don't think that's legal. So.
Let's ask you here before we let you go. Yeah.
And don't forget what Mo Udall once said. Only in Arizona can a mother not tell her child that someday you can grow up to be president. So
oh boy,
that's something.
So
they got to break that barrier.
We'll let you before we let you go. I know you did mention that he's on his way to New Hampshire. They typically have some of the earliest caucuses going on here, and so I know he's heading there next. Any idea of what he plans to do after that?
We don't know. Frankly, I expect him to get back to work in the Senate. They're on recess right now. They should get back to work around Labor Day. So he's got to do his day job at some point in the next month or so. I think New Hampshire might be it for this round, and who knows what happens over the holidays or during their next recess. But as I said earlier, this is a very intentional strategy, campaign, whatever you want to call it, on Ruben Gallego's part, to raise his national profile at least, and perhaps see what comes next.
It'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, and we're so glad to have you there. Again, you have interviewed Senator Ruben Gallego more times than we can count, so to have your insight is just incredible. Brahm Resnik, thank you so much. We're going to have much more on Senator Gallego's Iowa visit later on today on a live edition of Sunday Square Off. You can watch that this afternoon at 2:30 on 12 News and on 12 Plus. This will also air at 8 on Sunday morning. So a really special event, honestly, that's happening.
Yeah, very interesting.